30th anniversary tour to Rogers Centre. Other epic shows on the schedule include the likes of Metallica, Coldplay, and the Nobel Prize-winning Bob Dylan. Now, today is the longest day of the year, a high of 24 degrees expected. But will the weather live up to our great summer expectations? Our meteorologist, Harold Hossein, breaks it all down.
Will the rain continue like it has in spring? Not likely. We could see some rainy weather as we head into the first few days of summer, but I expect that we will have some dry spells as we head into the later part of July.
And there's something to keep in mind when you're hanging out in the backyard or on the dock at the cottage this summer. The latest report on wild species in Canada shows we're being pestered by 100 different species of black flies and 80 different species of mosquitoes. Reporting live, welcome to summer. Jamie Pulver, 680 News. 680 News time 5:34. Dog owners who let their pets roam freely in areas where they should be on a leash will soon be the target of a bylaw blitz. 680's Carl Hanske's heading out this morning and joins us live with the latest on that. Good morning, Carl.
Yeah, good morning, Sajetta. Starting in July, bylaw officers will be out in force in Toronto parks, cracking down on dogs off-leash in areas that are not off-leash. Dog owners could be handed a fine of up to $365. The bylaw officers will be deployed to parks 7 days a week during busy times, including in the evenings. In 2015, 202 off-leash charges were laid. That number dropped to 127 last year. So far this year, 49 charges have been laid this year for dogs being off-leash. That number will rise dramatically when the blitz begins, beginning July. Reporting live, Carl Hansky, 680 News.
680 News time, 5:35 in the UK. The Queen is set to outline the government's legislative program this morning with far less pageantry than usual, in a speech expected to be dominated by discussion of Britain's plans for leaving the European Union. Our political affairs specialist, John Stahl's here now to set the scene. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Paul. The Queen will address Parliament in about an hour from now. The snap election and the precarious result is why there's no time for the grand-scale pomp and ceremony that usually frames the opening speech. But it does remain the Queen's key parliamentary role to outline the government's agenda. The BBC's Alana Gagne joins us with a thumbnail preview of what the Queen will touch on this morning.
Brexit will be the central theme. It's likely there'll be a great repeal bill to turn all EU laws that affect us into British law. Look out for legislation to tackle terrorism, with powers to deal with extremists and protect the public.
That Brexit legislation is expected to set out the laws required to leave the EU. Irrespective of the final deal with Brussels, at the heart of it will be that repeal bill, which will actually repeal the 1972 European Communities Act and end the jurisdiction of the European Court of Justice. On the International Watch, I'm John Stahl.
680 News time 5:37. Two seniors have been taken to hospital after a fire at a home in Scarborough. Crews were called to the scene on Benley Drive near Bellamy Road just before 3 this morning. Paramedics say a man and woman in their 80s are being treated for smoke inhalation. The fire was in the basement, however, it's unclear how it was started.
This is 680 News. The city's short about $10 million because it has failed to collect rent from some Union Station tenants. A report to be debated at next week's audit committee finds the city has not properly billed the station's major tenants for operating costs for at least 4 years, resulting in a shortfall of $9.4 million. Under the terms of the leases, commercial tenants are supposed to pay in advance for rent and estimated operating costs. However, the city is then contractually obligated to perform annual settlements, which it did not do. The Auditor General makes 21 recommendations, including settling outstanding retail accounts from 2010 to 2015.
The son of a York Region police officer who was killed in the line of duty almost 10 years ago has died in a motorcycle crash. Police say 26-year-old Jeffrey Plunkett was driving in Springwater north of Barrie on Friday when he collided with another vehicle. He'll be late to rest today in Barrie. On August 2nd, 2007, Jeffrey's father, Constable Robert Plunkett, died after becoming pinned between a car and tree while trying to arrest a 19-year-old for allegedly stealing airbags. The suspect, Nadeem Jiwa, was convicted of manslaughter and was sentenced to 12 years in prison.
It's a busy morning for John Tory. This hour, the mayor is taking part in the City of Toronto's sunrise ceremony for National Aboriginal Day, and he's officially declared June 21st National Aboriginal Day in Toronto. This morning's sunrise ceremony will be followed by a permanent flag installation of 5 Indigenous flags at Nathan Phillips Square. Then at 9:30. The mayor will be on hand for the official groundbreaking ceremony at Bay Park Center. The development at 881 at Bay Street will be the future global headquarters of CIBC. It will also feature a privately funded 1-acre elevated park over the railway corridor and will be the future GO Transit bus terminal.
The Wasaga Beach Water Tower is getting a facelift. Repainting has begun, and when it's complete, the tower will once again resemble a giant beach ball. The project began on Monday. It should take about 5 weeks. The price tag is over $190,000, a cost that was earmarked in this year's budget.
680 News Time, 5:39.
Nobody does it bigger than the Brampton Auto Mall. The biggest discounts, the biggest deals, the biggest inventories. This Saturday, Brampton Auto Mall's hearts are bigger. Their annual Moonlight Madness sale is back in support of Peel Memorial Hospital. You'll feel great getting an amazing deal at any of their Big Ten dealerships this Saturday only. Join them for the Moonlight Madness sale in support of Peel Memorial Hospital. Visit BramptonAutomall.ca for details. On city streets, lane restrictions on College, east of Dufferin to east of Ossington for construction. There's also long-term construction on Queen between Bathurst and Spadina.
680 News Time, 5:40.
City Streets was brought to you by Pride Toronto. Pride's Festival Weekend will give you life June 23rd to 25th.
Hey, Cora's my treat today.
Oh, sweet.
Hey, Cora's my treat today. Sweet. Hey, Cora's my treat today.
Oh, sweet. To celebrate their 30th, Cora restaurants are giving away a $1,000 gift card every day for 30 days. $30,000. Now that's sweet. Details in restaurants.
It all starts with a simple question at work. What can we all do to save more energy? Then everyone starts thinking about conserving energy at work, just like they do at home. Not only does it brighten the mood, you'll see cost savings that have a direct impact on your bottom line. Small changes lead to big things. When you save energy, you power what's next. Find out more about incentives for your business by contacting your local hydro company. Visit saveonenergy.ca. Powered by the IASO and offered by your local hydro company.
Hey, Cora's my treat today.
Oh, sweet.
Hey, Cora's my treat today. Sweet. Hey, Cora's my treat today.
Oh, sweet. To celebrate their 30th, Cora restaurants are giving away a $1,000 gift card every day for 30 days. $30,000. Now that's sweet. Details in restaurants.
680 News Time, 5:41.
Time for 680 News, traffic and weather together all the once. Here's Helena Volka.
This report brought to you by Seneca College. Well, southbound on the 410 is solid. Approaching Queen Street through Steeles, you're narrowed down to just one lane for some construction through there. That's a real headache area every day at this time. It's actually now from Williams Parkway on down towards Steeles, where you're narrowed down to just one lane because of that construction that's going on the southbound 410. The Steeles ramps to the southbound 410, they are still closed. Eastbound 401, spotty construction anywhere east of Warden. East of Warden, the express to collector transfers were closed. They're just reopening those now. We have the collector lanes fully closed through there as well towards McCowan. They're in the process of reopening those now and beginning to see vehicles begin to trickle through. There's still some construction crews on site, though, so just be careful as you drive through. They are picking up the cones and reopening everything. Westbound on the 401, we have Dixon to Brock Street. It's starting to slow through Don Mills. Westbound on the 401 in the collectors, they report that they've cleared the construction. I can see some MTO crews far off in the distance in the collector lanes, possibly on the shoulder, but again, be careful as you drive through. They're just wrapping up the last little bit of road work from overnight. Northbound 400 Major Mackenzie to north of Teston, we did have that reported just down to one lane for construction as well. Start at Seneca this September. Learn more about Seneca's degrees, diplomas, and certificates, and 190 full-time program options. It's not too late to apply. Visit senecacollege.ca. Now with the forecast, meteorologist Harold Hossein.
Lovely weather for our first day of summer with a mix of sun and cloud, but the UV index will be very high, so sun protection is a good idea. The temperature climbing to 24. A few clouds tonight, a low of 13, but tomorrow we've got a new system coming out of the American Midwest. We'll see increasing cloud cover, showers and isolated thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. It'll be the evening hours before we get to the high of 25. Right now we have a clear sky. The wind from the west 15 kilometers an hour, 12 degrees at 680 News, 13 at Pearson Airport, going into a guaranteed high of 24.
680 News Time, 5:43.
Now the Money Sense Market Minute.
Over to Mike Eppel at the 680 Business Center. Morning, Mike.
Morning, Paul. Good morning, Sojana. Negative tone in the morning markets. So far, we've got the Dow futures giving back 25 points a day after the Dow pulled back from a record with a drop of 61 points. The TSX struggles continue. Composite index down 116 points in the Tuesday trade, led by yet another sell-off for oil. And the price for oil just continues to slide this morning. It's down 12 cents, 43.39, and that's ahead of the weekly inventories update out of the States, which comes in at 10:30 this morning, potentially putting more downside pressure or downside risk to the energy market. Canadian crude's coming off a decline of 1.6%. The overseas trend, not all that great right now. We've got, after a multi-day rally, keep that in mind, investors in the Eurozone taking some profits. The Paris market is down by just over 1%. Tokyo's Nikkei down 0.4%. Gold is opening at $12.47 an ounce. That's up $4. And our Canadian dollar down 1/10 of a cent at 75.25 cents U.S. At the Business Center, I'm Mike Apple.
Still to come on 680 News.
Kyle Lowry doesn't want to come back to the Raptors? Huh. Try telling Masai Ujiri that.
680 News Time, 5:44.
You know, friends don't let friends miss the fantastic deals of Sears days. Like what? Like peekaboo fashion lace bralettes? Only $15. Ooh la la. Yes, and super comfy boyfriend tees. $10. Oh, cool. I won't have to steal my boyfriends anymore. Yeah, I was wondering why your shirt said, "This guy needs a beer." It's ironic. It says I'm an original. Actually, it says you can. These amazing deals, plus the lowest prices of the season. Now during Sears Days, in-store and online.
This is a high-powered cordless reciprocating saw that Stan ordered on the advice of his Ackland's Granger rep. This is the reciprocating saw that cut the pipe that was fitted to the irrigation system. This is the reciprocating saw that cut the pipe that was fitted to the irrigation system that watered the crops so that the farm could thrive, even on the driest days. This is the reciprocating saw that Stan ordered. You made the cut, Stan. Ackland's Granger, industrial size solutions. Visit acklandsgranger.com.
This is All News Radio.